Joe, welcome to Just Jump. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, I'm happy to be here.
Well,
Thank
I'm very excited. And a no-brainer, man. Like, for once, we're in Monaco, baby. It's a very new for us. I wanted to start off with a bit of fun. It's a quick fire round. It's called Glam or Sham.
hmm Okay.
So I'm going to give you some cliches, and you can either say, or truths, and you can say whether they're glam and right and appropriate, set for Monaco, or complete sham, complete cliche that doesn't really add up to the real world
Okay.
down there. If it's got a pool, it will rent itself.
Shan.
I
Yeah.
suspected that.
Yeah. No, I mean, it depends on the people. Sometimes people, they never use the pool, so it doesn't make any sense. No, not really. Some of the best residents as well, they don't have a pool, so it doesn't mean that they're going to rent
Yeah.
less easily.
I
Some
guess it always comes back to who you're trying to cater for. It comes back to who you're trying to cater for.
Exactly. And also the status of the building. Sometimes we've got like really amazing buildings with really amazing location and great status, but they
Yeah,
they don't necessarily have a swimming pool.
makes sense. No, okay, actually, I've got a good one on this. This is on the a Reddit thread I spotted. Everyone wants Monaco until they meet the syndic.
No, not really. I mean, sometimes, but most of the sending, they try their best. Actually, some of them are better than others, but no, in general, they all do their best.
Do their best. Okay, that's what you want to hear. I don't know how I feel about even asking this one. You can spot a good agent by their car.
Um,
I thought so.
actually, the ones that it's a pity that I cannot translate that from Arabic because it's the means of cheating. Like sometimes people they need to impress with their looks and the way to make people believe that they are successful, but it doesn't make any sense. Those who are really successful, they just go, just very discreetly. They don't need to show off. I mean, they need to have a, presentable look that inspire confidence but it doesn't have to be that they're wearing like the most expensive Rolex or that they drive the latest Bentley or something like
Yeah. Yeah, no, good answers. I think that frames this episode really well, actually, because it makes me think of your a typical path, I suppose, in Monaco and the different walks of life that you've led so far. But you've always let your work do the talking because you went from, well, I started the makeup artist experience first in quite a competitive space in Monaco.
that.
Could you talk us through that and what you learned from serving the Monaco
Well,
residents?
I learned a lot. When people used to sit in my makeup chair, they were often in vulnerable moments, before a big event, a job interview, a breakup, after a breakup. And I realized very quickly that makeup wasn't about like vanity. It was about like confidence. It was about helping people feel themselves again, and maybe even better, hopefully. And what struck me the most is how much people opened up. I mean, you're there applying foundation and suddenly they're telling you you're their biggest fears, dreams, and insecurities. That taught me how to listen, not just what people say, but what they need. That skill transferred straight into real estate as well.
Yeah, no, I can imagine because ultimately you're helping people make a really big and exciting decision. But if you can't help them bring to surface their real thoughts and feelings and how the environment makes them feel, how can you serve them?
It's actually like I would compare it to the psychologist or chair. It's a little bit like that. They feel comfortable. They're kind of naked in front of you. Sometimes people with like really high end with like big profile, and they're just naked in front of you. They're more themselves. They're not in the society where everyone's trying. They're trying to keep a certain image. Here, the image is gone. It's like they're themselves.
Yeah. So has it sort of brought relationships back from those days when you're helping people in the chair and stayed in touch with them? Because I imagine you're helping them on multiple occasions, throughout the year and everything.
I
When you
mean,
went into real estate, how does that sort of translate? Did the dynamics of those relationships change?
when someone is buying or renting an apartment, it's rarely just a transaction. It's tied to big life shifts. Sometimes relocation, divorce, growing a family, chasing a dream. So my job isn't just showing properties; it's prepping people emotionally too.
Yeah.
So sometimes that means helping them slow down. Sometimes it means helping them see possibilities they were too stressed to imagine, for example. So just like contouring enhances someone's natural features, I
Yeah.
try to guide clients towards clarity and confidence without ever pushing. It's always personal.
Yeah, of course. How does it make you feel when you've been able to help people go through that cycle?
Well, it's in my nature. I like that. I like that. I like to feel that the people put your confidence in you, they trust you, and I
Yeah.
do everything to not to disappoint them. So you always are looking to have them saying thank you from the bottom of their heart. And I've got some really beautiful, beautiful reviews that I feel so proud. First, when I started having those first reviews, I was very proud to show it to the director who trusted me and, accepted me to be part of the team coming from a completely different background.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make him believe that he did the right choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vindicating the bet, as they say.
Yeah, and on the same time, sometimes you just show it to your friends who can be a little bit skeptical at the beginning. I had a friend who was like sitting next to me, telling me he needs to change apartment, and he didn't even ask me like, "Oh, would you find something for me?" And I said, "Wait, but hey, you, dude, I can." Oh, yes, of course. So when you have an image that is a little bit different, it takes a while before people start putting you in your place. Realize that, oh, he's a real estate agent, so I can show them, or make them listen to some reviews that I received, like really some very interesting reviews. One of them arrived at 5:30 in the morning. Someone who was in the UK, there was a problem with his flight, and he needed to take the train to come to the Côte d'Azur and etc. So, and he sent me this message at 5:30 in the morning, and it was a beautiful message about everything. It's really like something every real estate agent would wish to have at least
Yeah.
once, a message like that.
It's the North Star, right? That's what you should be aiming for each day. It makes me think, so that emotional journey you're helping people on with these purchases reminds me a little bit what you're saying when you're working in the art galleries too, right? Because there's a
Yeah. Well, I
there's a
was
journey
a
taking
TV
place there.
presenter in the past when I first started, like the first career I had in
Yeah.
TV. When I moved to Monaco, I also like managed an art gallery.
So there's, yeah, in all of these aspects, there's a journey each time that you help people on. I mean, storytelling from TV is a whole nother level. But like I was just thinking in terms of, um, I imagine most people buying in Monaco have quite curated tastes. Yeah, have an eye on how to protect long term value in the investments that they're making down there and things like that. So there's probably quite a lot of synergies from the art world too.
Yes, except that, when it was about art, it was more like really art that they love, that they want to put in their homes, etc. It was more than that about like investments, to be honest. So
Yeah,
I cannot really compare it to that. But at the same time, I used to go with them sometimes to their homes. We take the painting, we try to see how it looks in place, etc. So it also involved a little bit their interior, because they kind of ask you for your opinion. They have their homes, but now they're decorating it. They want to see how the painting would look like, if it fits size wise, color wise, the style, etc. How it look next to other stuff that they have or both. So it was also like feeling that your taste kind of matter for them in a way. So they trust you and then your taste as well.
yeah, I suppose. And again, it goes back to the ability to listen and take the time to understand. Because if you don't truly understand their taste, you can't give anything constructive, can you?
Yeah.
No, that's good. I mean, actually, just so listeners, I'm going to add some links in the description of this episode because Joe does a really good job of putting content out there when he's on the ground in Monaco, walking the streets and telling stories of how he's helping people. There's a recent one I really liked. I suppose is the catch line from it was, "You don't choose Monaco; it chooses you."
Yeah.
I just wondered if you could talk through your
Well, it's actually because a lot of people try to make it to Monaco. But a lot of people also have to leave after a while, you know, because they come with a certain idea, with certain cliche, with certain things in their mind. It's either they realize that they don't fit there, or they got carried away very quickly and they start actually, some people come rich, but they have to leave because they cannot really even pay their rent anymore.
Yeah.
You know, they got carried away. They feel like, you know, they are neighbors to people who are a little bit maybe richer. They have their yachts, etc. So they believe that, you know, they actually think they lose the sense of reality in a way. So people who live here and stay here, that's where we can say that people chose them because they really fit in here. You know, the others, they just don't stay. They just have
Yeah.
to leave for a
There's
reason
like
or
a
another.
natural selection going on at that level.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting, isn't it? Um, I suppose, Ben, are there many alternatives in the area that people can that are tempted by too? Like I hear Hogbrun is growing in attraction too, or yeah,
Well,
some of the hillside gems
France,
around
I mean, the
Monaco.
Côte d'Azur is a beautiful place. You know, Monaco is just like a small bit in all the Côte d'Azur. So yeah, the whole area is fantastic. I mean, from Saint-Tropez all the way coming to Antibes, to Cannes, Juan-les-Pins, even Cap d'Aille, which is literally next door. Roquebrune is also next door. Cap Martin. So they all have, and a lot of people actually who live in Monaco, they do have something in that area. You know, they do have houses, they go on the weekends. So that's why actually at the agency, we do not only sell and rent apartments in Monaco alone. We also have a lot of properties in the area because
Yeah,
we have the people for, you know, that.
it's quite unique down there actually too to be able to service the whole region. I'd
Mhm.
say. Um, I mean, a nice way to move into the experience you like to give people that are curious about Monaco. What are the sort of things you get people to ask themselves before they come over and view with you?
Well, actually, I would say what the people usually ask me first, because they know I live in Monaco.
Yeah.
Some people ask me, you don't get bored? Isn't it like empty in winter? What would you do? You know, this is what usually people say, you know, when they
Okay.
know you live all year round. So Monaco, we say that we have 365 events a year. So that is one thing, like almost like every day there's an
Every
event.
day there's an
There's
event. Yeah.
always something to do or to look forward to. And when you live here, you have your friends, you have your social life is also here. And living in Monaco doesn't mean that you need to stay in Monaco the whole time. You're very close, like we say, like the whole Côte d'Azur is like just a small drive away. You are very close to Italy. You know, you're very close. Even you're very close to the airport. So it's, I would say, like it's very multinational, very cosmopolitan. It's a huge for networking. You know, a lot of celebrities, sportsmen, all kinds of you know. So it's, you would never get bored. But of course, it would not. It's not London. It's not New York. But we have a lot of other aspects to it that you don't find anywhere else.
Yeah.
The
What
security.
the security is an interesting one because
And
there's
you know, I've actually, if you looked at my Instagram recently, I posted like photos that were taken actually from the casino square. And it says that people are not allowed to film or take photos of the clients of the hotel or the casinos. So this is
right.
forbidden. So yeah, no paparazzi are allowed. So for celebrities who are actually afraid of going out there, you know, sticking their nose out of their house because they know they're going to be paparazzi waiting for them, etc. Here you don't have this. So it's actually a very nice aspect for people who are looking for privacy.
Yeah.
They find it here easily.
Because yeah, I suppose if you
And
roll back
security, I
20,
mean, you know, when we hear what's happening in London, for example, you know, you cannot walk on the street with your phone or with a nice watch. This is kind of really kind of scary, and it shows that we are really blessed here.
very good point indeed. Because there's a lot of talk about the tax changes in the UK and how that's forcing a bit of an exodus from a lot of entrepreneurs, in particular from from the United Kingdom. But when you speak to them directly, most of them say it's the security aspects that are driving them away from
Yeah,
London,
for the
just the
kids
day-to-day
especially.
existence.
For your kids here, the kids, they just walk on the street alone. There's, you don't feel any threat or anything that could happen to them.
Yeah.
It's good, but if they grow up like that, unfortunately, when they go to the real world, they might be in danger because they get used to being really. It's true. Like you walk in a restaurant here, you see people sitting on a terrace, they have their phone on the table. Anybody could pass by, if you're not in Monaco, could pass by and
Yeah.
pick it up. I've many times left my keys in my motorcycle, and nobody. One time I left it overnight. I actually forgot it. The next morning, it's just there. I mean, I didn't even, when I realized I didn't have the key, I thought, oh, it must be still there. I didn't panic and went down straight away to see if it's still by your foot at all.
No, you just cracked on. Yeah, no, that's pretty unique. No chance you could do that in London, that's for sure. No
Well, not in
chance.
London, not anywhere else, actually.
um, yeah, no. But what brought you to Monaco initially then? What was the start of your?
Well, that was like 23 years ago. I was a TV presenter. The situation in Lebanon was not really great. Not that it got a lot better since, and I had like friends over, and I was actually coming visiting and, just spending some time on the Côte d'Azur, or if I'm in Paris, I just take a flight and I come here. And actually the first job I did when I first arrived to Monaco was real estate. They had a real estate agency, and they asked me if I wanted to join because they had a lot of people from the Middle East, and it would be great that somebody that can speak their language would host them and showing them around, etc. So it was my first job, but I didn't last long because I wasn't ready. I didn't know Monaco very well. I didn't know the people very well. I didn't know the job very well. So it was all new to me. And although I speak French very well, but it was still like you can't be very, it's not the same. It wasn't like a language that I speak every day. And all of a sudden you need to make some humor. I felt like I'm losing my humor. I cannot really express myself like as easy as I can. So, and it definitely, not being able to have this in real estate, it was like a bit of a handicap.
Challenge, yeah.
So I didn't stay very long.
It's really interesting, isn't it, how the context is important to not only have the confidence, but also the full toolkit to be able to attack this job properly. And I guess you wanted to serve these people to the best of your ability. And if
And
you
I
knew
know
deep
a lot of
down you weren't
people
there yet.
now, having been here for 23 years, having changed jobs. I did, maybe you don't know, but I also did the PR for the casinos here in Monaco.
Yeah.
So that was also something, so I got to meet a lot of people, and I'm quite open and, like easygoing. So in the parties, I'm the first one to be dancing on the tables and stuff. But people are impressed by somebody who doesn't care, like as if you're the only one in the room. So yeah, and that makes me feel like people may believe that they feel like they're close to me in a way,
Yeah,
because they've seen me or I'm friends of their friends. So yeah, it makes it easier for you to know more people, and the more people you know, the more the chances are higher to get someone who wants to rent, sell, or even have something to offer
absolutely.
on the market. Yeah.
No, being able to play on the local network does make a huge difference, of course. Yeah, fantastic episode. Thank you very much. I'm going
Yes.
to put links in as promised, guys. So reach out to Joe. I'll put his contact details there, his email address, so you can ask him questions directly. We'll put some interesting properties up too on the description too, if we can see.
Thank
See
you
if we
very
can help
much.
out. Yeah, maybe we can do this again sometime.
Anytime you want, I'll be very happy. Hopefully, when I will have done my, like a huge transaction, and it's worth
Yeah,
talking about. Yeah, definitely.
we'll spread the
I'm
word.
actually
It's a good
now in
plan.
the process of doing like a big transaction. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks it'll be done. I'm
Okay.
working on it for the last month. It's for me. It's actually quite interesting because, well, I could say now it's in Maritera. Maritera is the new extension, that they
down the. Oh yeah, okay, there,
and it's quite exclusive. And yeah, I'm working on something there. So yeah, it's 99% accomplished.
Joe.
It's
Well,
really,
let's put an episode on that. You can give us the full update. Good luck.
yeah, I can, I mean, we can have like a full session only on all the
The
steps
jo-
that to go through. And trust me, it wasn't easy, especially like one day you wake up, you think like, it's not going to happen. The next morning you get this message. Oh no, it is happening. So, you get this like on a roller coaster. So
Man, I
yeah,
would love to do an episode on that. Yeah, nice cliffhanger. Let's do
fantastic.
it.
Thank you so much, Ben.
Thank you, Joe. Awesome.
Yeah.